I apologize to everybody who's here because sometimes using a brand new room, we're adjusting to the Zoom. Dana, I just added you. You need to you can unmute, and then you'll be able to speak when you want. All right. All right, we have the minutes. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Correction. Yes.
It says that I want to see actual fence installed nearby by roof or fencing. And I think what we were talking about, I'd like to see it behind that.
Behind the sign.
Behind the sign.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't read this either. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Behind the sign that is no longer. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So you were specific about that.
Right. And I don't know that I specifically said fencing. Was that?
Well, they're the
one of choice.
They're the one of choice because of price or because of quality.
Okay.
But that's all up to the town. I mean, these are not our decisions. I think. You know,
No.
Right.
I just want my statement to say.
Right.
Right. Sign behind. That's a very good catch, though. Behind the sign, obviously.
Okay. All right. Any other corrections to the minutes? All right. All in favor to accept the minutes? I'm probably saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, Bernadette. Okay. All right. First thing we're going to do is communications, and I would like to allow Mike, if you would like to do you have something you'd like to say to the committee, and then.
Sure, not at this time.
Okay, not this time. All right.
I would just respectfully ask the committee to drop the fence project or any form of the fencing project. The optics are extremely bad. I know they're extremely bad. And I think you guys are a wonderful group, and I hate to see this turn into something negative down the road. I think if you want to work with plantings and things like that, I'd be happy to do it, but it's just not going to come across well. Fencing, the fence is not going to come. Even putting it behind the sign is going to make people nervous that you're going to extend it because it's already been talked about. And it's really not the majority of people that like the idea. Some people I found did like the idea because it decreases trespassing on their property to get to the sidewalk. But honestly, the optics are horrible. I just ask for you guys to vote just to discontinue the project and let's turn it into something positive for visual and for especially for the Connecticut Ridge neighborhood. I think we could do a lot better in working in different directions, like bulky waste pickup and an increase in the regulations on the blight ordinance, tighten things up. But I walked the property. I realized there were issues. I knocked on doors. A lot of the people that even live there are upset with neighboring properties. I've honestly never seen, I don't know if you guys have walked those streets back there, but I've never seen such messes allowed anywhere.
It's a lovely area, it's a lovely community.
Yeah, there's some very nice homes and really very nice people.
And it's historic. It's been there since World War II. It really is worthy of being proud of.
Right. So let's try to move in that direction and work with the people that are proud of their homes, and let's just try to correct the issues that bring down the neighborhood. And I think plantings would work. I still think
they don't fit in this area.
I mean, we're not going to discuss it this time.
No,
we're going to let Mike.
Well, no, but anything I know is better. So whatever we can figure out, I'd be happy to help out. I'd be happy to help out with plantings, that type of screening. I think that works.
Okay. And we have your contact information?
You do.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your coming out to speak to us.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think you're a great group, and I don't want to see this go south on you. I think you do offer a lot of value to the community.
As a tag along to that, there is an organization that, and maybe Roscoe, you could speak to that, that is a town group that is on the books, but it needs membership.
I can put something together now without having heard from the group. I am Roscoe Merritt. I live on 19 Birmingham Court, and I am on the RTM for District 1, which Fort Hill Homes is District 1. And first of all, the sign and the fence. I like the sign, and the fence was probably an added protection, shall we say, if you wanted to put it back or not. I'm sure it's all going to be paid for insurance, and you might have to accept the fence back if the owner of the car agrees to pay for the whole planting there. You might have to take the fence back that was around it.
Yeah, there was not a fence at the time. It's just the sign.
There was a small fence. I believe a small cyclone fence, 3 pieces
It might
behind
have
the
been the
sign.
neighbor in back. It might have been their fence, but no, it was just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a sign.
Okay, so the sign
Plantings.
is perfect in the plantings. There was plantings put there years ago.
But speak to the group that is in charge of that your whole neighborhood.
Well, I'm pointing towards that direction because that was planted at one time. It may have to come out and be replanted. It was never like the ordinance.
Lost audio. I lost audio.
Yeah, I did too. I lost the video.
Okay, good. All right, good. All right. And okay, but where's Bruce?
We'll have to rejoin.
Yeah. That's Sharon.
Sit down at the bottom there.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, I'm back here too.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Bruce, I was just mentioning that I know that there's been a lot of back and forth between you and John Burt working on the contract for the mural. Do you want to talk about that now, or would you like to talk about that when we talk about?
Well, let me give you a little information on communications because I missed that. I just talked to by email with John Burt. I sent him a video that I took down here Monday, whereby the Arts Committee down here in DeLand put together a brand new sculpture walk. They spread them throughout the town. And I gave John the details on what we spend. And I know the fellows that put it together down here, it really is a neat idea. You know, I was trying to think of some way to maybe put something along Route 1 and Route 12 and kind of spruce that area up because it's so poor now as far as tastefulness is concerned. And I'm thinking that maybe some of these sculptures, which are much smaller than the one that I did that's outside the senior center now, but nonetheless very colorful. And I'm wondering if maybe we can use some of that murals money. I could put that really to immediate. I said we should put that to immediate effect as opposed to fooling around with murals for a while. But failing that, John thought it was a pretty good idea. was very happy to receive the video. I also sent along a brochure of this particular project. And the other idea about the murals is that Tabitha has come through for us, and we have, I think, achieved a breakthrough with regard to the legal agreement for the murals. So I'm really, really happy to see that. I have yet to see the final agreement, but John Burt and I put our heads together and came up with something, I think, that is much simpler and much more acceptable to all. So yeah, I think we're making some progress here. The only suggestion I have at this point, because I just saw this recent deal that they have down here with the sculptures, is maybe we could reorient ourselves from the murals. With $10,000 that we got for the murals, I could do a lot with sculptures here, a lot.
All right, well, we are going to try to have a meeting basically as soon as you walk come through the gates of the town of Groton and with Kevin about the ARPA. And that's definitely could be a question. I have no idea about those kind of things.
Okay. Well, I'm heading out. I'm heading back to Connecticut Saturday or Sunday, next Saturday or Sunday, not this coming one.
Okay.
So I'll be there, in a couple of weeks.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So what we've all been waiting for, any other communications?
Do you want to ask Dana if she wants her letter written into the record? She seemed pretty committed to the issue. I don't know how you do things.
Yeah, we don't usually do that. We all have, we have a copy of it, and it's been, but
you want to ask her if she wants to say something?
She can speak to it.
Dana, can you hear us? You currently are muted, I believe. Can I unmute her?
No, she
yeah. If you can unmute and would like to speak, please do so.
I can't even see her, which is important.
Yeah, I know, but you can't see Sharon either. But if she can hear us, that's really the most important thing. All right, if at any time, Dana, if you can hear us, if at any time you'd like to speak, you can do raise hand or just say, excuse me. All right.
I just want to get back to the murals for a second. Did you by any chance see the Connecticut magazine issue about murals in Connecticut? It's about 30 pages of different towns and the murals that they've done successfully, and it names the artists and the type of art they have. It's really worth, we'll save you a copy, okay, Bruce, so you can see Connecticut magazine did a really good piece on murals.
I saw it.
You did, okay.
He reads Connecticut magazine even when he's
in Florida. Wow.
He's involved. All right, let's move on. I'm going to give a quick treasurer's report that we have not spent any money in the past month. So our total budget, this is including the money from the town as well as money that the Beautification Committee has earned or raised money it's raised. So there's no time frame on that. The total amount is $7,497.35. Of that total, we have $2,865 that needs to be spent. I'd like to see it by June 1st, but within the first week of June, because that money is town budgeted money, and it has to be the town has to finish its fiscal year. The fiscal year is over the 30th, but they certainly need way more time than that to finish up their books. So keep that in mind. All right, moving on. Is anybody have questions about money? Okay, thank you. Unfinished business. First thing, Route 1 fence. So we need to discuss what occurred in March. I'm sorry I missed that meeting. All. Thank you so much to Aline for running that meeting. And while I'm on thank yous, yes, thank you so much, and doing a beautiful job typing up the minutes. very quickly, much more quickly than I get to it. And I also, while I'm on thank yous, thank you to all of you who planted daffodils around town. Have you seen them everywhere? They're everywhere. They're in front of the police department. They're down by the, what used to be the sign at 1 and 117. They're just everywhere. So anybody who planted daffodils, thank you very much. I haven't been to the library. Huh. I know there's some Paquonic Plains Park there too. So anyways, thank you all.
Did anybody notice by the submarine if they came up?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No. Yeah, somebody sent me saying, where are they? And I said, they're coming. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. They come up every year. Rachel does a wonderful job with that area. All right. There was a motion that was tabled, I believe, regarding voting on the fence that was to frame the garden area that we put in behind the new wayfinding sign, which is unfortunately was run over and will be replaced hopefully by the end of summer, is what I heard today. So I think I haven't done this before. If you have a motion that's been tabled, can I bring the motion back up and then we'll discuss it? That's how we do it? All right, so I would like to.
The motions was.
Yeah, okay, I'd like to.
Just bring the motion up.
Okay, bring the motion up from the March meeting to place a fence behind the sign only. The specifications were at the last meeting. So it's behind, it's basically a framing fence, and it would go behind the plantings and the sign, the wayfinding sign at Route 1 and 117. That was what the motion was on the floor. All right, that's the motion. Floor is open for discussion.
I'm sorry to interfere. Dana just messaged me saying, please let them know there's no sound or video for the meeting.
Oh boy.
This is a motion for us to discuss. I don't think it's open for discussion at this moment with everybody.
Bruce, can you hear us right now?
Yeah, barely, but I can hear you, yeah.
I'll just message her that Bruce can see us. So it's got to be at her.
Tell her to unmute too.
And I can hear fine too.
Sharon can hear, okay.
Okay, so she does. Okay, I'm just going to write her and say that other people can.
Bruce, what did you just say before?
Screen.
He said he could hear.
He could hear, but not well.
He's speaking to the issue.
He was asked, just making sure that the motion was on the floor. I believe we're clearing up that the motion's on the floor. Now we're going to discuss, correct, yeah. Bruce?
Right, for us to discuss. That's right.
All right. And please apologize to Dana for me. She's welcome to come down and attend, but I do have her letter here.
Yeah.
Well, are we up for discussion now?
I'm sorry, Bruce?
Are we up for discussion now?
Yes, all right. So it was moved and seconded. We are going to bring it back up for discussion. So now the floor is open to discussion about the motion about the Route 1 fence framing the wayfinding. Right. All right. Okay.
Well, my thoughts on this are, in general, I feel that we have had a lack of empathy from the town to the citizens. And I see this as kind of along the same lines. You know, we've discovered that a lot of people just don't want this thing, don't like it, think it's a slight upon their living here and so forth. And I really don't want to see that. That's not what the intention was, but that's how it's been perceived. So my suggestion is that we just vote this down at this point in time and we not proceed with the fence.
I think he's talking about something else.
No. He's just talking about the fence behind, the proposed fence framing the sign.
I don't see any problem with that. I think he's talking about something else.
No, I think that's in general.
I think, I actually have read a lot of social media pieces. Most people were really, really offended by this idea of a fence. Was from my view, there were plenty of also people who said they prefer not to see any fence because it's kind of like the start of something.
We're talking about a motion you table that is on the signage.
No, we put it back on the floor.
It's on the floor. It's ready to be voted on, Roscoe, and discussed.
No, not for the signage. The
I swear,
signage
I
is,
might have imagined it, but I swear that probably the day it was taken down by the car, I swear I saw a three-piece fence behind it.
no, there's no fence behind it.
Maybe somebody else put it there.
The homeowner behind you've spoken to, he would love to fence his property. It hasn't happened yet. I don't know if he has a plan for it, because I know he has a young child.
They have to determine the line of the property.
Yeah, but the property line has already been, when we put the sign in and we put all the plantings of the property line, the town had done the property line and everything, so we know exactly where that is. Pretty much.
Just at that point.
Yeah, so right now, we're just talking about the fence behind
Correct.
and the long side. We're not talking about
No,
anything.
that's right. I understand.
Yes, okay.
So
So,
Bruce is saying,
It's causing too much contention. I don't believe that we should be involved in that kind of a problem. Maybe we can figure another way around this to enhance the plantings and the signs, but I don't think a fence is appropriate at this point in time.
all right, anybody else?
I would agree actually at this point, because I've seen all of the, the repercussions from this and the misunderstandings. But I think right now, if we could, since the sign has been wiped out and everything else, if we could rebuild that and put.
Gosh.
Oh, no, again?
Oh, no.
Ugh.
I don't know what's going on. But you went out and I went out last time. We got back in okay, so maybe we ought to do that again. Wait a minute and see what happens. See if she can resurrect it.
Well, I'm going to try to go out, Bruce, and go back in. We'll see what happens.
I'll follow you out.
Bye-bye. Can't even leave.
Mm-hmm. No. Here's my pussy cat.
And since it was winter, nothing was in bloom, all the plants are okay. They straightened out the one pine tree that got jostled. And so no harm, no foul, other than the actual sign. If there had been a fence there or in the future, that is a place, now that my memory has been jogged, that is often interfered with by cars. There are accidents that happen there often. The other thing I'd like to bring up is which I hadn't thought about, was Bruce basically mentioned that, it's like a blank slate right there, and is that going to be vandalized? I don't know the answer to that question. Do you have, I'm just not sure.
So we don't, nobody knows, that's not
right.
Known. And I think that, again, I don't think we should dwell on this for any length of time.
Okay.
I think it's time to maybe spend some of that money we have, do some nice plantings there until the sign gets installed in front of the plantings, but at least get something there that looks halfway decent, and make them mature plants. We don't have to wait for them to grow.
Right.
We have the money. Yeah. It's the entrance to town. It's what people see when they drive down 117. It should make a statement.
And that was truly our intention.
Right.
Mike, did you want to say something?
I look on the positive end. I think this is going in the right direction. I'm happy we had the discussion, and I really believe we'll see improvements in the Quantic Bridge neighborhood. As far as the sign goes, if it was me, I'd have 2 posts, and I'd have banners for different times of the year celebrating different events, and that's what I'd have for a welcome sign. A campus banner that would be easy to replace, that you could adjust it all the time to make announcements. You could have a mural on it if you wanted, sub-week, whatever. I think it would be a fantastic spot for a sign that would be interchangeable and theoretically indestructible, because it'd be easy to replace.
Yeah. They do want the wayfinding. They want to be able to say this way to the police department, this way to the town hall. But
that could go on either end of the post.
You're right. You're right. And they did put in a breakaway. They specifically put in a breakaway post when they installed this last sign, because they anticipated it was going to get taken out. So they don't have to reinstall that. They just have to get a new sign.
It's unfortunate, but I think a banner would be maybe a good idea for a while.
That I will bring that up to Public Works.
I had suggested last time that maybe it would be a good idea. Probably wouldn't be as attractive as many of things, but it would probably protect that area a little bit if we could do some plantings and some half whiskey barrel and put stone in them. And when somebody comes in, they're going to stop.
Yeah, but
just you don't have to answer me.
I do remember you saying that. Thank you.
So I know we'd have to go and say, what could we put? Maybe we can get the town to put up a piece of good, like they do on the highway, that stops somebody when they're coming into an area where it happens and happens and happens.
So they need to go back to this.
That's the town stuff. That's not our motion.
No. That's what I just said.
Right. We need to. Okay, we're discussing the motion on the table. Is there anybody else who'd like to have anything to say? Right.
Then you're dying to say something. Say it.
No. I'm just so sorry for all the miscommunication, misunderstandings. I was asked to quote the fence and then additional pieces, as long as the guys were there. I had meetings with 3 different fencing companies, spent hours with each one. So I just priced everything as I was asked to price and come back. So it was never voted on. It was never you know, there's never a done deal. I'm sorry that our company got in so much trouble. That's not what I intended. I just came back and maybe it was my presentation, but there was definitely a phase 1 and then a phase 2. And it was not meant to be a done deal. So that's all I can say is I'm so sorry that you all got worked up about it.
You did a lot of work for us. It was that you put in a lot of time and, you know, like.
We appreciate it, Missy.
Right,
Really.
absolutely.
No,
And who
I
knows,
really
we may-
not.
we may use it someplace else.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the idea was that the fence around the sign would be one color, one make, and the rest would all be contiguous, the same make, the same color.
Yeah, but the rest, there was no discussion about the rest. We were talking about a framing fence, period. I think that's where we
So we need
went
to move
right.
on this.
Yes, so let's,
We're done. Yeah,
all right.
we're done.
We need to vote. All in favor of spending, we don't even have exactly the exact amount, between $2,000 and $3,000 to install a fence solely behind the sign at Route 1 and Route 117. Please signify by saying aye. Those, that's in favor. Those, what's the other thing? Not opposed. Excuse me. Those opposed.
Aye.
Yeah,
We'll just for now.
put it on the back burner.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yours has his hand up too.
All right. All right. All right. Let's move on to the NIPS project. We have now, Missy's also done a lot of work on that too. Do you have anything you can report about the sculpture or the trash?
This is the updated version of what's doable and what can be done there by the person who has asked to do this.
Is that Clint?
Yes, Clint. And it's going to be roughly 6 feet tall, 12 feet wide, and it's shaped this way so that it'll be easy to take the bottles, the plastic bottles out. It'll be on a kind of a sculptural looking wave on the bottom of it. It'll sit on something. And he, agreed to a price of $10,000. And if it meant that we have to bring it in under $10,000 for some reason, I'm not quite sure how we're going to do the contracts. Maybe Bruce is already an expert at contracts. We could bring it down to $9,999 or something to bring it in under a certain amount. But he's going to get some high school boys from the tech school to work on it also. He's researched, he's talked to, people who collect the trash. So he's done the back work, on it. We just need to get a contract out to him now.
Okay. All right.
This is his idea of a contract.
Yeah. And then, and so then it would tip to remove.
There would be an opening, like a door that would open down. That would be at the right height for the Public Works Department.
Okay. Did you see anything about a bag or an enclosure? Or I'm just not sure. Like
it has metal mesh. This is all metal mesh that's kind of transposed on top of each other. That should keep a good sized plastic piece out, falling out.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you so much.
And then there's also part 2, or I'm not going to say anything, no part 2.
Another idea.
I don't know who saw the official one.
Bruce, can you see?
Can you see the picture?
No, I can see you guys, but I can't see anything else.
So here it goes.
I think there's the cable in it. Trash.
Where is it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah. No, I'm for any kind of sculpture. Absolutely.
Where is it going exactly?
Where is it going?
Oh, it's going to Esper Point at the beach.
Whereabouts?
Well, we can discuss that, but I think it's going to be the left of that building that's there. So it can be seen from the road. It's meant to be both like a sculpture and as a teaching tool, and also to collect plastic to teach people not to let plastic be thrown about around the beach and how it hurts animals.
Well, he did that great sculpture down at S&P.
Right.
Have you seen the sculpture yet, S&P, Bruce?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Incredible. So he also said he would do the garbage cans.
Uh-huh.
These are garbage can holders for standard garbage cans. They would have a metal frame to put the garbage can in, and each garbage can would have a different nautical.
Can you see that, Bruce?
Yes, I
different
can.
nautical
Yeah.
theme to it. It might be a fish head, it may be a mermaid's head, maybe an octopus. And he wants $250 for each one of these.
Uh-huh.
Is that all?
Yes,
That's
that's all.
painted?
Yeah, and he's also going to have those young boys help make that for him. And he's already looking for pieces of metal that are, you know, recycled metal and things like that. So,
Uh-huh.
and you know, the thought is we're trying to rejuvenate that entire Route 1 stretch. So
Yeah.
this will be for right there, I hope, going down Fort Hill Road, several.
But where there are no trash cans at all.
Yeah, there are none whatsoever now.
Yeah.
So that was the idea. So we have to vote on it. I'm just getting all the information and
Awesome.
prices for
Lovely.
you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Wonderful, wonderful job. Thank you.
Yeah, let me ask a question. I wasn't aware of the garbage cans or the trash cans that are going to be on Route 1. That doesn't sound like it's a real doable kind of a situation. I mean, nobody's going to come along Route 1 and stop their car and throw a bottle in there. Is there another
Oh, it's not just for
method to that
bottles.
I'm not aware of, or what?
It's not just for bottles, it's trash. Have you been to those trash cleanups on that road? It's a lot of trash is flowing into the kind of the underbrush there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
trash,
But
not
do
just plastic,
you
Not just bottles or plastic.
do you expect that people will stop and throw the trash in there?
Well, it's going to be kind of attractive. It's going to catch their eye now. It's going to have an attractive, we're going to have more and more people walking on Route 1, especially if that school gets turned into a rec center. And we're trying to encourage, you know, foot traffic there. So
Yeah,
there's
no,
gonna be
I
foot
understand
traffic.
I understand the motivation. I'm just wondering if it's really practicable, that's all. All right, I'll go along with the program.
Well, I mean, I think we can, probably it's up for discussion. If,
Yeah,
do we need
yeah.
4 or do we need 2 there? Or could we push it all the way down to Sutton Park?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
do we have one
Well,
near the park, you
no,
know?
I'm thinking even down towards the barn. Because that area gets the foot traffic where the gazebo is.
On the head of the.
And
At the head of the
and
gazebo.
all the way up to town hall, because I see starting out, and if we get the kids involved, I see very little complaints about the online comments. If we, again, it's going to take more money, but I think it would get more people
Yeah, I think
in favor of it.
And
he
it's
had thought-
visible.
he had thought to make 5, an odd number anyway. So he had thought about 5 would be, that was his idea, but it's up for discussion and you have to vote on it. So.
Right, and so there's 5 there, Missy, he has 5 different sketches. Awesome. Awesome.
And the price is just the fabrication, it's not the installation. Because I assume they're going to have to be anchored somehow.
Well, he's making these, yeah, he's got these little metal things that are gonna go in the ground. You know, they're anchors to go in so that they can't be moved. The frame can't be moved.
Yeah.
The garbage can be lifted out easily.
Yeah.
By the trash people.
Yeah.
Could they be moved? If, for example, you didn't need 5 and you needed, and you might decide, well, we only need 3 here. Could you take 2 of them and move them someplace else?
Well, I don't know, but I think so. I think where there's metal anchors.
I would
You
think
have to
so.
move the
I would think
anchors,
so.
but
Yeah,
You'd
I would
pull it
think
out.
so. Yeah, I would think
Yeah.
so. But
Yeah.
you might, if you could ask Clint that, just
To verify.
something, yeah.
It can be. We talked about it. 'Cause we
Okay,
Threw
awesome.
it in underground, that it
Yes,
would go in and it would have to be shoved in.
Okay.
Put it
Yeah.
to the ground,
okay.
like a fence post, you know.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so it's stable, but it can be moved. Okay, all right.
I was just gonna mention, if we put a few out where we decide to put them, I think very quickly, we probably could have businesses that would be happy to buy it for us.
For sponsor. Like
Sponsors.
Yeah.
Just have a small thing across the front
Yeah.
that says like Bridge restaurant or.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is covered by NIPS money right now. Am I
Yes,
correct?
exactly.
So we have
That's
this
it.
money, 30,000 to
Yes,
spend. It has to be specifically on garbage
right,
and control and education.
Right. right. But I think Leanne, like if it kind of like, and then people really liked it and wanted to continue with it, it could, and we didn't have, and we ran out, we used up all NIPS money.
Okay, so
They can donate it like people too, and you just put what you want it to go to. The town accepts it, we spend it.
Yeah. Jeez, I had a checking account like that. Thank you, Missy, that's awesome. So that's one of the projects. I've got a lot of information. Rachel's been working really hard on the Groton Adopt a Road program. She, the thing I want to discuss, and I can send this around to you guys to take a look. I think we discussed this before, but the town already has a Groton Adopt a Road program run by the Public Works Department. Now, unfortunately, when it was first started a number of years ago, I don't have a date, it was very popular. But then interest waned, and I know that the Groton Rotary has Thomas Road. I know there's one other sign near Avery Memorial, but that's very trashy over there. So I don't think I've tried to reach out to that group, and I haven't been able to reach them yet. So, but he said what Greg Hanover said is that interest has waned. What Rachel has suggested is buying a lot of stuff with the NIPS money, and then each group that adopts a road, and you know, rightly so, she wants to include businesses, but also nonprofits, Boy Scout troops, anything like that. We of course put up the sign, and then we decide how often they need to clean it up per year. Greg said he believes right now it's 3, but probably twice a year would be great. And they have to kind of say, I'm going to do this for 2 years, we're going to do it twice a year. The thing that I have a problem with is I don't understand why we would need to buy more pickers, more vests, more bags, more gloves when we already have them. The town already has them, and the town is very happy to administer the program. So what they need from us is, and it's usually through the transfer station, so you just twice a year you have to pick up your stuff. They do need the temporary signs that say, like, you know, litter pickup. Everybody has to sign, you know, like, yes, I'm doing to sign a waiver. And really we need the thing that we need the most is to drum up business, to get businesses to adopt a road. Right, currently the program is 2 miles, but Greg thought that's a long way. Maybe it just needs to be 1 mile. He's like, many Groton roads, because remember, these aren't state roads. The Groton roads aren't even 2 miles long, he said. So some, you know, just a mile, if they was cleaned twice a year, it would really, really help the town. So my concern is that we are going to be purchasing a lot of stuff when we already have the stuff. However, that would mean that each individual group could have their own supply. And then they would have to store their own stuff. And then somebody would have to be in charge of it versus us kind of being in charge of it, but everything kind of working in tandem with Public Works. So that is my concern. I know, I believe that Rachel thinks it will be much easier for a group to have their own things. They don't have to go pick them up. They can pick any date they want. I am not convinced that going to pick up stuff that the town already has is a huge, would discourage a group. Missy, comment, please.
I have to agree with you because I belong to one of those groups that cleans up a road twice a year. It's the Mystic Garden Club. We have maybe 10.
Do you have a sign? Is there a sign up?
I've signed up.
Okay, good.
And it's if you ask me where the road is, it's right in front of the big church in Mystic that goes.
Yes.
So it is 2 miles long. And that person who's in charge of it, they fill their van up with a couple of vests and pickers. Most of us have our own pickers already, and we just meet twice a year. So there's no need, I don't think, we use the same vest that everyone else does.
Right.
They just pick it up from a central location and bring it.
Right, and it could be very effective, but it wouldn't cost a whole lot of money.
But it takes one person per site to organize.
Yes, one person per site, and we need to get the word out. Anybody listening to this or listen to this, we need groups to adopt. The other thing, and I do not ever want to be negative, but right now in the workup was for 25 groups, and Greg thought we'd be lucky to get 5 groups. I think thinking we're going to get 25 groups to adopt roads. I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but that to me might be a reach, and to buy enough for 25 groups to adopt, that's a lot of pickers and bags and vests that somebody has to store somewhere. So I am wondering how I would like to kind of scale it down, scale it up, but scale our purchases and ownership of more stuff down. So I'd like to hear your.
My feeling is I really like the garbage cans. I think that would be fun to buy 5 of them, have it as a motivation for the entire town. Look at what you can contribute towards. But that would be something that, like a spark for us. And as far as adopt the highway, I would go into a business, and I'm thinking immediately of the Marriott. But I need to have a letter.
Yep.
I need to have something that says exactly what we would like them to do and what we'll provide, and who to call when you're ready to do it. And this is your assignment. This is your street. So I think if somebody, maybe we could have a little committee that develops this letter.
Right, and the letter is Rachel. I'm sorry for interrupting. Rachel has done a lot of work, and there are actually good pamphlets that the town already has. We just need to be.
So it's just putting together a little packet. So when I go into the Marriott and I explain what we need to have, they can put together some employees to do this. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But I think that's probably, it's like a grassroots kind of thing. You gotta go face to face.
Yes.
With something.
Yes. Would you like to be on that committee? I'll be on it with you. I couldn't say no to her. Did you say no to her?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. We could do it and see what happens.
There's an article on fellow town, Montville is saying we're a pay group. So I think our idea of just having groups volunteer to keep your town is the right way. I don't think we should be using NIP money to pay groups.
Oh, okay.
But I think
we're arming them.
Yeah, you could be incentivizing, but I don't see that. If somebody's going to do it, the Boy Scout troop's going to do it to, I want to say out of the goodness of their heart.
Right, for public service.
And the businesses. But I personally don't like the idea of trying to incentivize people, because then somebody's going to say, well, their road section's dirty, or why aren't we getting more money? So I say it should be known up front. This is a volunteer position.
Yeah, it's not going to cost you anything except your effort and your time.
But at the same time, it could get a beautification plug on the vest.
Or how about on the sign?
Well, so yes, so this is the other thing the money could be used for is we have a sign shop right here in Groton. They'll make the Groton Adopt a Road, and then you have a separate little sign for the name of the business. And then I would like to propose that we have another little, either our beautification or one of Vizzy has a really good selection of very tongue-in-cheek signs that encourage people not to litter and kind of nudge you not to litter without being punitive. So,
Cindy, how much along the 1 mile strip how many signs go along the strip? Is it just one or
just one? That's it. So one on each side?
No, I mean just one at the beginning,
right?
I guess where you can see it. It seems to be placed in a spot where you can see it best.
Is there just one on Thomas Road?
Yes, I think there
Yeah,
is just
yeah, there's probably, I think it's right in the middle of it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so it sounds like just one per, that's the other thing I personally am concerned about is just sign pollution. Actually, I was driving down on the way here and it's like the signs along Route 1 that we're talking about, it's signs, right? So, but this would just be the Groton Adopted Road, who the group is that's adopting it, and then our little sign. So it would just be one post with the information.
It could even just be our logo. We're working on our logo.
Right, that's on our list. That's actually the next thing. All right, before I change, so I also wanted to, so we have about $30,000. We originally had 16. Obviously, if we could spend a good amount of it on these, some of these projects. A resident came and asked me about a bottle fill station and could NIPS money be used for that? Because she had graduated from UConn in environmental studies and they had done that all around the campus. And she said it was very successful. So I reached out to Greg Hanover to see if we could do that. The place, of course, I thought was Groton. It could be someplace else, or there could be more than one, but could they do Groton? We have the public bathroom. They could put it in there. It's a town-owned property. The goal here would be if people filled up their bottles like you do at the airport, you wouldn't need to buy a plastic bottle and then dispose of it somewhere, because a lot of things, as we know, a lot of plastic doesn't get recycled. So he came up, I just wanted to let you know, and I'm not positive we have an okay to do these two projects with our NIPS money. I am not positive that we can go beyond those projects. And Greg wasn't sure either, because they have some NIPS money too. We know that it has to be used for pollution reduction or plastic reduction or cleanups, those kind of those kind of ventures. So to do a water bottle fill only, so just the filling of the bottle, and this would be installed on town-owned property at the public bathroom. No, this is actually Mystic. For the top cost would be $2,700. If you wanted to have the water bottle fill and a drinking fountain combination, it would be $3,500. So that's when now, and maybe we would do that at Sutton Park too. Yeah. But Sutton Park's going to be all redone anyways. But this is adding something, and and obviously if we had other places, I know there's so many people down in Mystic, and I'd love it if it could be down by the Groton, down by the Bank Square Books, because that's really a focal point, but that's not town property. So this way they have water, they have the shelter, and they could add it in, and that's the cost. And I just wanted to throw it out there so that we can, if I find out we can do this, or it's something we can go beyond just the two things that Rachel had asked money for, I just wanted to throw it out there so you guys, or any other ideas that you guys have.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. There are plenty of places we could make use of it too. We've got a park right along the Pequannock area there where we have that walkway. And we have that park that they're going to, just before you get to Bluff Point. That would be a good spot for something like that too.
Oh, you're right. That's state-owned property though, isn't it? Or is that?
No, we have our own town property there.
Oh, I have one question. Is the bathroom in Mystic, there's no drinking fountain there?
There is not. No.
Why not?
There is not. There is water access. There's the male and female bathrooms, and there's the small police, community policing.
But I'm amazed that wasn't thought of to at least have a drinking fountain in there.
Yeah.
You can fill a drinking bottle
Yes.
from a drinking fountain.
No, it is not.
We're trying not to encourage tourists to come to Mystic, and I think it's working very well.
But it has to be, it can't be a standalone. It has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but what Greg was proposing, so that the internal works are inside of a town-owned building where nobody has access to messing with them, but and obviously it can't be on, year round. It can only be on in the.
No, it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea.
No, on the outside of the bathroom. It's really, I think the way I think it's like as you're going into the parking lot. That's what I have in my mind, but.
Well, I like it as long as they're doing Sutton Park, totally, wouldn't it be smart to build that in as part of the project there as well?
Well, Sutton Park's on here too, baby. Not that's a different thing, but. So anyways, I'm just bringing this up to get you guys thinking about it and see if you have to, because all of this stuff gets everybody talking about it, and you have different ideas. And where else are there a lot of people who might use this?
Well, I think it would be good to, for maybe step 2, put one at the park out here where all the kids are. You could very easily put it where the concession stand is.
Yep.
Because you have a lot of there, and it would be.
Yeah, and if they could fill up instead of purchasing, of course, does the
well, maybe sometimes they get the first one, then they fill it up. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is reduce plastic. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for all your input. I appreciate it. All right. Beautification Committee logo. So this was the older one that Sharon put together. Sharon, are you still here or not? I don't think she is. Or, oh wait. Yeah, there's Sharon. Sharon? Oh my gosh. I'm like the worst.
Hello.
Russ?
Yes.
Hi. All right. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the logo, and if you want to jump in, please don't hesitate.
Okay.
This is the older one that Sharon put together, and a lot of people commented that they didn't really like the smiley face. With the face on the sub, maybe it was, I don't know if it was disrespectful or not in good keeping with the submarine force. So
Cindy, they said it was, some people really liked it, others said it was kind of cartoonish, and they liked it without the face, basically.
Okay. All right. So this is, I wrote on their old, I wrote on this one new. So this one has no face. We have the beads are more serious kind of beads, and she also changed the font, and the font can continue to be changed. She had I liked this one. It was suggested to her to do a real blocky one, which I didn't like. This is all those kind of, what do we like? The other thing, Sharon, that I was wondering about is, if we could possibly do a slightly lighter blue on the waves, or maybe the water around the wave. I mean, around the submarine, so that the submarine really stands out, so that when you're driving by it, you can really tell it's not just a blue blob, it's a submarine. When we're looking at it, it's very obvious, but when I'm thinking about when people drive by. But anyway, so I'm going to pass these around. And Sharon she's not a professional at this. You would think she was, because this is a phenomenal job. She's not costing us any money. She's not asking for a consultation fee, which is very nice. And so
can I say something?
Yes, please do.
So after all the comments and stuff on Facebook and everything, and there was a real graphic artist who reached out, and she said that she'd be willing to help. I reached out to her, and she was just volunteered her experience. She could not touch the logo because it would have to create a contract and all that kind of thing. So I just asked her what she would do to the one that I had, just to give me recommendations. And again, it was the font that she talked about. Maybe get rid of the face, because to keep the integrity of the submarine. And also what I did from the original ones that all of you saw is I flattened the colors, because I had it almost like it was like a painting, like the flowers and stuff, and I flattened those into solid colors. That's really the recommendations that she gave me. So, and I can certainly go in and change the blue wave to any color you want. Did you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. We can hear you. We hear you
Okay.
perfect. We appreciate your work so much. Does anybody have any comments or suggestions or?
Personally, if I may.
Yes, please.
I like the one with the smiley face. I think it's very bland. And, and the smiley face gives you a better feeling when you're looking at it. You know, that's just my opinion. I think making it so that the water is a little bit more separate from it, but I think when you look at this one, it's like, okay, you look at this one and you find yourself smiling.
You know what? I agree with that. The only thing I noticed is that to me, with the smiley face, it looks like a fish instead of a submarine. However, there are lines that look like gills on the side of the smiley face. Maybe if you took the gills out, and just had the smiley face, then it would still look like a submarine.
Sharon, did you hear that?
Yeah, again, you guys make the decision. I'll be glad to do whatever you want. Happy to do whatever you want.
Well, the eye with the smile, I think, would be great.
I really like the smile too. I totally respect everybody else's opinion, but I like the smile too. It makes it's like a little play on.
I agree. I like the smile. But the other thing is, there are a lot of colors. If we ever want to do that on T-shirts or anything, this is going to become expensive because of the number of colors.
Do we have an estimate by anybody? Did anybody get an estimate? We didn't have. Does anybody have someone to talk to that they could get an estimate? Or
I can get it. I was supposed to get it before, but I haven't done anything but get up in the morning.
So I've had for a couple an organization I volunteer with. I've had T-shirts printed up with multiple colors as long as they're printed, and I mean they're like $15 a piece. I mean, for me, I wouldn't even expect the town to. I mean, I would just buy it myself. But
that's what I was going to propose.
You know,
I don't think this is something that taxpayers should be paying for us to wear a T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, it's pretty. You can get it. I mean, I know of course you probably want to use somebody local, but I mean, I printed up loads of T-shirts online from like Custom Ink and stuff, and they can do up to like. I forgot how many colors, but a lot of colors. It's really not. Okay.
All right, that would
once they do the first setup. I mean,
I
think you can have a graphic artist do this just once and send it to wherever they're going to be printing them, and they just just happens.
I just submit the picture online, and I'm sure the local T-shirt place does the same thing. They just. You submit it online, they send it out, and it gets printed. As long as it's T-shirt material you're talking about. I don't know, something like a vest or something, I think may cause trouble with a lot of colors.
Now, the other thing is, does anybody have a suggestion on the color of a T-shirt? I specifically don't want it to be yellow because yellow is horrible to wash, even though it's bright. Somebody said it should be a bright.
Well, if you did yellow, you'd lose your background.
That's true. That's true. Okay, good. No yellow. But like somebody said, like it should be like that orange or a neon green or something. But I don't know if I agree with that or not. I kind of think it would be nice if it was, oh, there's those crazy beautification people again in the purple shirt or the green shirt, or you know what I mean? Something that said beautification. So
I think this is so nice. You want that to be the highlight. I think do it on a nice gray shirt. You could do it on beige. Yeah, beige is yucky.
Well, the other question is, do you want the white square around it, or do you want it just printed without that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like when you look at an image, you have a white background, and then that logo is on it, or do you want that white background transparent and that be the right on the T-shirt? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I like just the logo. But
okay.
The white.
I have a comment, if I may. The idea of a logo is that when you look at it, you have an immediate impression of what the organization is that the logo belongs to. What about that logo, beyond the fact that it's cute, tells anybody looking at it that it's Groton Beautification Committee? Do we have some wording to that effect, or how are they going to know that?
Just Groton Beautification is what it
It's
says
on
right
the
now.
bottom.
But you see what I mean? He's thinking about the graphic. How is it graphically, when you see it, you immediately think of beautification?
No, that's not going to happen unless there's some kind of an indication that says that that's what it is.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it could start. I mean, it could, you know, also the flowers. I just see the flowers coming out the top and the beads.
I think the writing has to be on it.
Yeah, the writing has to be on it, absolutely.
Can you see the writing underneath?
No, I can't see it, but okay, that's fine as long as there's something that says what we are. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, I get your point. I see your point. I see your point. But we, you know, the whole, I guess the Groton part is coming out strongly because we, you know, are involved with submarines. And then by adding the flowers and keeping the colors very bright, I mean,
I think it's perfect. I mean, this is the submarine capital of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to keep it in what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess I also see it as, it's not just the beautification committee, it's the Groton Beautification Committee. I mean, that's clear.
Right.
And it encompasses all of Groton, city, town, it doesn't separate.
Right.
You know, so that's what I like about it.
What I would recommend, and if you're going to have that printed on the t-shirt, I don't know if you plan on the back or the front, I would have the logo, but I would also have big letters that say Groton Beautification Committee underneath it. That so far away, when you're cleaning up streets or you're planting the flowers, there's big letters on the back that says Groton Beautification or whatever it is you want to say. So that's just my opinion.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think you need to make sure that they know what they're looking at belongs to us, and that's our mission.
Right. Well, and the other thing is, I mean, it's like some of the places we work, like when we're up at the top of Fort Hill, I mean, where the only people that pull in there is like the police, the state of Connecticut, and the beautification committee. And whenever I'm up there, I always feel like people are saying, what the heck is she doing up there with that, you know, that big electrical box? And so I think it's really important to have those big letters on the back of that shirt that says, you're supposed to be here.
Yeah, yeah. See, I keep hoping somebody's going to stop and ask me what we're doing there. And then they'll say, hey, come on, grab a trowel. Do some weeding. Yeah, I agree. I think it would be really nice. That's how I'm seeing these t-shirts, like to wear when we are working on a beautification project. And that's why I think it would be nice for all of us to have the same color. And it would be like, oh, that shirt and that logo, okay, it starts to, and maybe we have the same thing on our Adopt a Road.
Yeah.
You know,
put it on everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe we'll get some more volunteers.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right. So I'm not, at what point are we going to take a vote on this? Like do we vote on, do we put a space, or do I send out a little,
just send it out so we can all look at it and vote on it. I think that, and say yes or no. I think that's a lot better than having a vote. Yeah.
Yeah, because.
And Wendy, what about these two projects too? Cindy, what about these two projects? Are you going to vote on those, or do I tell the artist to go ahead? What should I do? You need, because if this is going to be done by summer, we have to somehow get it going.
Exactly. I move that we adopt.
Okay, wait, let's finish up this real quick. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, Missy. Sharon. All right, can you try to separate the colors, the blues a little bit more? Does anybody have anything to say about the font? About
bigger is better. The font I want is this. I like the big font.
All right, yeah. The original one. How about the established 2018?
No,
yes, no.
Make it big and bold. Big and bold.
Big. Yeah. So you know which one she's. Can you see which one she's talking about, Sharon?
No, not at all.
Okay.
You want me to hold it up to the camera?
Yeah, sure, that'd be great. So Mike's gonna hold it up for you.
The one you want?
And
Hey,
Closer, closer,
one
closer.
that says established on it. And then I'm wondering, could you also?
yeah, okay, good. Yeah, bigger and bolder. Thank you.
All set?
Yeah, no, that looks good. Yeah.
You want to see the other one?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let me say something about
You know, those changes are not difficult to make, for graphic artists. They can do that pretty easily, quickly.
I'm not a graphic.
Sharon is a graphic artist.
I mean, really,
She's doing it.
yeah, definitely like the one on the right better, for sure.
What with the
The bigger and bolder. I like big and bold.
The one in this hand.
so wait a minute.
The one in your left hand. Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry. That would be your left hand. Yeah.
So hold on a second. Here.
But I would, the thing that you need to do, what a graphic artist should do with that particular image, is not make that print straight ahead. You want to have it curved with the submarine a little bit. You can do that pretty easily in a graphics program. It would just be more cohesive and look a little better.
Do you have the ability to do that? Because I don't.
I do, but my graphics programs are on my computer at home in Mystic. You'd have to wait until I get back.
I have a suggestion.
Okay, Mike has a suggestion.
I love it. I think it came out great. I think the thing that's confusing is maybe the wave in front. If we could have the waves coming off the side of the sub like you would normally see, it might make it look more like a sub going in the water.
Okay.
A white wave, a little white ripple on each side.
Okay. Can you hear that, Sharon? I don't know. Can you do anything like that, or did you? Because sometimes you say I can do anything, but I'm assuming that that's with the image or with the writing.
Well, again, I have a digital imaging software program. I'm not really a graphic artist. I don't. I mean, that was the original. That's the Town of Groton logo, right? That I took.
Right.
Oh, then you should stick with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we want to change from that. So.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I wanted to say with the can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. With the logo, the wording is when you turn something into transparent. At least the way my software works is when I make that transparent background, Bruce, maybe you understand what I'm saying. Those letters are going to show up in like a white space. So my recommendation for a shirt would be to, if you you don't want that big white square on the back, is to have it transparent, but then have the t-shirt company just print on there, Groton Beautification Committee or whatever. Does that make sense? Have any of you done t-shirts before?
Yes, I see what you're saying. So it's kind of almost like a two-step. Well, but also, I'm sorry, were you going to say something, Shirley?
What about a white oval that has the tall in?
Can it be in a white oval?
I don't have the capability to do that.
You can make anything you want to do with that.
If Bruce can take it and do, or somebody else can do that, I don't have the capability to do that.
I like Bruce's idea of changing the font or the writing, just Groton Beautification, into following the wave underneath as well.
Yeah.
But he can, so if she is able to.
All right, Sharon, you and I are going to have to get together. We're going to make a little questionnaire to send out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for all your hard work. We love it, and it's going to come together very soon. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay.
Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. I'm so sorry that this is going so long, everybody. We had a lot on to discuss tonight. All right.
I have to get another glass of wine.
Don't tempt us over here. At least I have chocolate. Yes, Dan.
I know I'm getting a little out of sync for you, and I don't want to do that because you're doing a great job, but I'd like to make a motion that we go forward and get the money for the rubbish cans.
5 cans.
Yeah, 5 to begin, and then we can create a promotion for the businesses once they see them.
Okay.
Well, plus, should we combine that with the big sculpture too?
Not so much.
Or should we split it?
Well, that one we have to go to the council.
Yeah.
About.
That's.
We can pay for the rubbish cans. Can we pay for the fish?
I believe the NIPS.
NIPS money should cover
Yeah, the
both.
NIPS money should cover both.
Oh, unless.
The trash cans I'm all for. I want to see a little more detail about the fish, and I also think before we could vote on it anyways though, but I want to show it to Public Works.
I did already.
You did.
Yep.
Showed them that one.
Yep.
Okay, and they said they can do it.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I've been to Public Works for both items.
Okay.
For fence,
Well, let's
everything.
keep daring. I make a motion that we move forward with the purchasing of the stands for the rubbish cans and the nip fish.
Nip fish.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to commit to giving Clint Wright moving forward with the 5 trash cans and the fish sculpture using NIPS funds.
We have to develop a contract though.
What's that?
Contract for that.
I imagine I'm hoping he has.
No,
What,
but
a
I,
town one?
No. And I need to find out, okay, sorry. So is there any discussion?
Well, can we include the price? So we have an amount that goes with that purchase? Because that would be like 10,000 plus 750 then for the.
Actually, I think it was for 5, it would be 1,250 plus 10,000
For the year.
for 5. We were talking about doing 5.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
so no, if he wanted to keep it under 10,000, of course he's willing to adjust that to $9.99. I don't know what the rule is that for 10,000 you need that.
The 10,000, well, I am not sure with the NIPS money. Normally with the council, anything 10,000 and up, you have to have a vote on it or something. But I'm not sure that I will find out how we have to move the money, but we can certainly move it. I believe for the entire amount.
Yeah.
For $10,100, $250.
Okay, 11,000.
11,000.
Yes, I'm sorry, $11,250.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Got a question?
Question?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to be out of turn at all, but just a suggestion, and I'm not sure of this. Are you awarding by your notes this contract to one individual? Did you go out to bid? Is that necessary or not?
It may be, yeah.
I don't think it's necessary for this.
It's not like it's even something that you could put out to bid. There's not that many people.
But it's also, it's not money that's coming from the taxpayers, right? It's NIPS money that's coming from, yes, thank you, Russell, for mentioning that. And obviously I will have to look into that this has been done correctly. But also we have a motion on the table, like we're just supposed to have that discussion. Is there any more discussion? All right, all in favor of spending $11,250 of NIPS money for trash cans and a fish sculpture, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay? Any nays? Oh, I'm sorry, Bruce, I didn't see you.
I agree.
Okay, all right.
Aye, yeah.
Unanimous.
All right, then it unanimous. So you and I are gonna have to get together and
Just have my file, yeah.
okay, awesome. Thank you very much. The motion carries. Yeah, wow, good job. Good job, Deanna and Missy. You're a good team. The ARPA update. Look at this, Bruce. I got something from the town of Groton specifically awarding us the Groton Beautification Committee's Town Hall Landscaping Initiative and the mural.
Great. That's terrific.
Murals initiative. So I have this. Now we want to have a meeting with Kevin, who's in charge of all the administration of the ARPA money. And rather than have him come, because we knew it was going to be a long meeting today, we wanted to do a special meeting date.
Okay. Did you talk to Pete Woods?
I did not speak with him. That's my second thing after we finish this. And so I wanted to let you know that I heard from Pete Woods. Pete Woods is the gentleman who did is going to be doing some landscaping at the town hall. He sent me a very nice plan. So this is a landscape plan and a photo. Please excuse my very sad printer that was running out of ink, and a picture of all of the plants. I did not get back to him because Bruce encouraged me, and rightly so. He is a professional. I am not a professional. This is his plan, a landscape plan. The only thing I'm really concerned about is, since I'm not an expert, is the water. There is water there. What he was talking about was irrigation.
There's no irrigation.
Right, there's no irrigation. So I'm gonna pass out these pictures in case anybody wants to see. Once again, I'm very sorry that they don't look at. I'm gonna give this one. I've only got one like this, but I want Shirley to take a look at it because she is a landscape professional, and then she will definitely give me her opinion, and I'm sure she'll pass it around when it's done. So this is Pete Woods and his landscape team will do this work.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we originally put that thing together, the idea was that we would have some irrigation for seasonal plantings because there's nothing there to do that if you wanted to make a real splash. But they didn't give us enough money for that, really. So we had to cut it down to something that was reasonable, that fit within what we received. So he can do essentially 2/3 or 3/4 of the project. He just won't do the seasonal stuff, that's all. But I mean, anything with that town hall would be a vast improvement. And I've been kind of critical of that whole town hall look for a long time, including the painting and so forth. So, you know, it should be a showpiece in our town, and it isn't. And that's what we want to do.
Yeah. Well, all right, so those are the two ARPA projects. We would like to do a special meeting with Kevin, which would be open to anyone, but it definitely, Aline and I and Bruce got to be there. We also wanted to make the same date for meeting with Chad Frost from Kent and Frost. And we were hoping we could do it on the 19th of this month. Is that too soon?
It might be a little soon for me. I'm leaving the 15th, so I don't know if I'll be back in 3 or 4 days. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. I've seen that. Yes.
Oh, it's more for the public too, because it is nice. So.
Okay.
Be able to see it.
Yep.
Yeah, I apologize for the quality of the pictures. Just saying.
No, they're great. You can.
I think we should make them.
Oh, yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah.
Oops.
Well, my husband went out and bought something today.
Thank you.
It was
Actually, I'd like to
it failed.
too, because I know the games are brilliant. It's up to you guys.
All right, what about the 26th?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
right.
that gives me time to get back and get stuff in place. Sure.
All right, because I wanted to do it as soon as possible because we want to get Pete going.
Yeah.
Sure.
ASAP.
No, absolutely.
You might be able to have a chat with him.
And that was Pete Woods's comment too. The time is of the essence to put this thing together, so we've got it going for spring.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to propose a special meeting of the Beautification Committee to talk with Kevin about ARPA and Chad Frost about the Sutton Park beautification. Not beautification, but improvements. And I will see if that's all right with Lisa Hilton in John Burt's office, and then get that out. Anybody is welcome to attend. But those are the two things that would be on the agenda. Would be moving forward with our ARPA grants and what our input would be for Sutton Park improvements. Already, it's a bottle filling station.
You bet.
to tell him about this meeting or?
Yeah, I know that Chad can do it on the 26th, anytime after 5. And I don't think each of them, since their time's so valuable, that, you know, I was hoping maybe we could go to the annex, meet with Kevin at the end of his day, and then have Chad come in. I'll talk. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But the 26th looked like the best day. All right. All right. Moving on, very quickly, there's an eco fair at the Groton Public Library on the 22nd of April. There's, I think between 35 and 40 vendors. It's information, but also people selling wonderful organic and natural products and doing massages and demonstrations, and it's going to be great. It's the first annual one. It does take place on Earth Day, inside and out, as long as the weather holds. It starts at 11 in the morning and goes until 4. Now, I have a couple people who I had signed up with me, myself, Missy, Aline, and Jim. The only problem is the last meeting I went to, they said they want like us to have something, something we're going to share with the public. And I'm like, well, we want the public to share themselves with us. We want them to sign up and be volunteers. I don't know what else we might, we don't tend to give things away. We're not like a seed people, or we're not a composting company, or I'm not. Does anybody have an idea of something we could do other than just show them what's been done so far, and do you want to help?
Can't we just do poster boards of the areas Mystic site or and
so informational
site, just do informational.
They think we should have a takeaway.
No, that's what he mentioned. That's what he mentioned, and I thought, even if I'm a member of the Pollinator Pathway group here in Groton, I mean, there's lots of information. Maybe we could do something on NIPS. I don't know. Is that what?
That's 26th of this month?
The 22nd of this month. It's at the library. Yeah, so I'm
the logo done
for that month. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, is the logo going to be done by then? I mean, you could do something as simple as, I don't know, a mark with a logo on it. At least it has.
The librarian has a good idea.
Right now. Something very.
How about the rain barrel? Can we offer that to them? We can have a rain barrel there and then offer it to them.
Which group is doing that? This is Backwack. Baker Cove Watershed Committee. So Baker Cove that's Groton, right? Yeah. Pick up in Groton City Public Works 520.
520?
Yeah.
So when does it have to be ordered by?
No, but you could do a couple of them, but if you took a picture of some of our projects and then had it really blown up, you could have a kind of a simple display that show them that those are things that you've worked on.
Yeah, I do have some.
We have that, yeah.
We have the, I'm so hesitant. My daughter's getting married in June, and I'm having a big brunch at the end of this month, and I'm a little nervous about, I think it would be very nice to really highlight the things we've been doing, and then people hopefully will get to, will get inspired and enthusiastic and get ideas from that, So we did do the a PowerPoint, and I could just print out all those slides and put them on a board. Wonder when it looks like at the top of Fort Hill, those rhododendrons are going to bloom at some point, and that is something that is a beautification thing. Are those rhododendrons blooming at the top of that hill?
We need a sign there with the logo.
Yes, we do. You're right. Right. Okay.
And also, I wanted to say right in front of the annex, all those planters have been filled. So I don't know if it's blooming.
Oh, and I've got great pictures of those. I've got great pictures of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's all it has to be for
Yes.
this event, that, you know, we are who we are and we need help. And sign up, volunteer.
We are who we are and we need help.
That's my new slogan.
That's right. All right.
Maybe even put a map of the town with people can come up with and where they possible suggestions for us. Not to guarantee that we're going to do their neighborhood exclusively, but that might be a crowd participation.
I get that stuff all the time in my inbox.
Well, let's have a sign up for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Sign up.
You're right. You're right. Adopt a highway. That is a good idea. So yeah, so I would love to do some type of bookmark. I don't know. Do you know, Bernadette, if there's any easy way to do that? You ever done anything like that?
But I should think.
But I bet if I go over there on my way out of here and speak to somebody, that I try to, because they've got bookmarks all over the place. Or
Right,
even
they put a
benchmark
lot,
books.
they put a lot of information on bookmark.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can do it online. Go online
Yeah,
and look
you're
for
right. You're right, Carol.
Print them and send them to you.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, all right. And then let's see, photos and adopt. Okay.
And again, it's just exposure for us.
Yes, it is. It's exposure. All right, so I will need to get with you people or just have a discussion. If you guys could wait afterwards, we can quickly just, who wants to be when? Who wants to come to the Go Garrow point? Morning or afternoon, I guess. All right, I have got to wrap this up. I had talked about plant purchases from Pride's Corner, and I said go to pridescorner.com. I've had absolutely no luck establishing an account with them, and you need to have an account so you can log on. So the town of Groton has an account. I've been able to get things from them, but they haven't established us as an account. I can't be the town of Groton and go on there. So I thought about it. They're in, we had a big project, we were doing a big garden or something, fine, but they're in Lebanon. It's a good drive. I think we're I would suggest that we just continue working with Stonington Gardens, Holdridge's. There are other local places. Those places both will build the town for the Beautification Committee. If you have an authorized purchase from one of those places, make sure they don't charge you tax. And I know Stonington Gardens and usually Holdridge's will give you a discount, but you have to have the original receipt to be reimbursed. Yes. So get a receipt, keep it, get it to me, get it to Lisa Hilton in order to get, because actually you have to fill out forms. If you haven't ever been reimbursed, you have to fill out a special form. So I'm happy to do buying or go with people to buy if we need stuff. Carol. One other new business, I have the collaboration with the Groton Pollinator Pathway. I had a meeting with Kristen DeSante, who's the head of that. She actually, she has a lot of people, but they don't have any money. So they are very happy to help us plant plants. And these are a lot of very wonderful women. Actually, Clint Wright's wife is one of them, Missy, who's doing on the pollinator pathway. So that some of the things they talked about is I told them about the fish sculpture, and the other thing she says, maybe we could do some ocean-like plantings around the fish sculpture. She wanted to help with the plantings at the town hall annex, which hopefully Pete will take care of, but maybe they can help maintain. And they also talked about maybe working on doing a pollinator garden at Branford Manor. So they have these different ideas, and they have a lot of ability. They have a lot of workers. They just don't have a lot of funds.
What is the name of that group again?
The Groton Pollinator Pathway Group. And Kristen DeSante, who lives in Mystic, is the chair of that. And then the very last thing, you guys, that I have on my agenda here is I was just, Andrew, 2 months ago, Andrew was able to come on our phone call, Andrew Perrell, just briefly, and he talked about what's our focus, folks. And I just want all of us to think about that. I have here, this is it from dated Monday, August 6th. And this was the original on the day, the Good Looking Groton is goal of proposed beautification panel, and our own Leanne Obrey and Rachel Franco got this whole thing started. And they talked about just plantings and pursuing projects to spruce up parts of town. And it'll be a great opportunity to hear the ideas of residents, which is the entire point of the committee. And so, anyways, I brought this I want to get us to talk maybe at the next meeting, talk about what our focus is going to be, because I think my focus might be a little narrower than what some of you would like it to be. And we need to talk about that, because the other thing that Andrew said, which I poo-pooed at the time, was, Cindy, you're going to burn out. And I'm feeling it, baby. I'm feeling it. So
get through the wedding. Get through the wedding.
Get through the wedding, exactly.
The committee will come and do whatever you need to have done for the wedding.
That's right. We'll take you out for drinks.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, before the next meeting is the 4th of May. We'll be back at the annex unless we need we normally would have a larger room at the annex available, but it's budget season. So hopefully, I'm hoping they'll have a budget by the beginning of May. So Thursday, May 4th, 6:30 at the Town Hall Annex, unless you hear otherwise. Is there anything that anybody else? I know you've got something.
I do. And I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but there's going to be this ad booklet that's going out to thank Rita Schmidt and Joe Dela Cruz for all their service to the town. And I thought it would be nice if we bought just a little ad so that Groton Beautification is recognized in it, saying thank you for your service.
Wow.
Is that something or is that too political?
Oh, the Republicans do something.
We'll do that.
Do the same thing.
What is the cost for the small?
It's like $125. $25 for a quarter page.
A quarter page.
That's the smallest.
And so, and you could come up with what you want to say. Maybe we could put the logo on there, or it would just be
right.
A thank you to Rita and Joe for your great.
If you could get the logo on, that would be great. Even one because you could put in process. Yeah, somewhere, but it would be good if you put it in.
Yeah, I think it's probably black and white too.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to make a motion for that? You can make a motion.
I move that we place a quarter page ad in an ad book showing appreciation for Joe Dela Cruz and Rita Schmidt's service to Groton.
Second.
This has to be in by
yes, that's
by the 30th.
Yes.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to purchase a notice of thank you to Joe and Rita in the ad book. Is there any discussion?
What page is
this? Let's any discussion on that?
I'll second.
We agree that's for $25 for 4 page.
Right. Okay. All right. All in favor of spending $25 on an ad in the celebration book for Joe Dela Cruz and Rita Schmidt?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, carries unanimously. All right, anything else? So those aren't Arbor Foundation things? I thought those were Arbor Foundation things. No?
these are tree books for each of us, if you'd like one. And I just encourage you to contact the ArborDayFoundation.org because they're giving away trees. And so you can get free trees. Small ones, but you got to start someplace.
Mine is now 60 feet tall.
All right.
Yay, good.
So
good testament.
The Rotary usually plants a tree.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, yes, second 22. Okay, Bruce, who was the second? I'll second. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much for your patience for this long meeting and for all your participation. And we'll be talking with this about
Okay, great. Good to see you.
Okay. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah, bye-bye.